Looking for some hot mic, baby, this evening. Looking for some hot mic, baby, tonight. Looking for some hot mic,
Baby, this
evening, yeah.
looking for some hot mic. Looking for some hot mic. Yeah.
Hi.
What up?
Hi. Oh, let me get my phone and then I'll check and see if our sound's all good. I think it probably is.
We got us on an echo right now.
Oh.
Let's see. Hello?
Hello.
All right, so we ended that.
Yes.
Properties. Go ahead.
Hello. Darling.
No, monitor off. Is it echoing?
I don't think so.
Okay. What up, y'all? Welcome to Hot Mic.
Hi.
Monitor off. Go ahead. Say some stuff. Oh, now I just went off. Crazy. Monitor only. Okay, that's what we're gonna go with. Say something, baby.
Hello. Hi. Hey there. Mic check 1, 2.
All right.
Right.
Check what that last stuff worked. You're on. All right, there we go. We're in business, y'all. What up?
We're in business.
Welcome to Hot Mic.
Hey guys. Hope you had a good week.
Dun,
Day.
dun, 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 dun.
We've had a nice day so far.
We've had a nice day.
It's such an amazing life.
It's fantastic, baby.
Yeah. So it gives me the energy to get these white people together.
Oh man.
Oh my lord, what a mess.
That's the theme of today, by the way.
Yeah.
Today on Hot Mic,
White
we're gonna have to deal.
love to get themselves into a cult. My God, they love to be brainwashed. They love someone to tell them a lie, and yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's a self-serving lie.
Exactly.
And that they can put some distance between themselves
So they can
and the
feel
other.
Superior.
Exactly.
To somebody else.
The mythology that puts them in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? And I'll roll with that, even though we know it seems many people can fucking take this on.
Nobody does it like a white person.
But nobody does it like these people here.
Really impressive.
We're about to show you. Let's jump into our first joint with Bari Weiss.
Nobody rewrites history like a white person.
The new director of media for CBS. Here's the first clip. Oh, I didn't change the words. Hold on one second, y'all.
Yeah. Lovely morning. Got to have some brunch with a good friend we haven't seen in a minute. And then I took a lovely bath.
Yes.
And then I napped, and I think that we was napping during that time.
I took a nap.
Getting this together. What is it? Yeah.
All right, here we go. We are going to full screen 1, transition. And now we
always get what you want.
All right, here's our clip, y'all. Watch this shit.
All of us see the moment that we're in. And all of us see that the choices that it feels like we have sometimes, which is Hassan Piker and Tucker Carlson, or Nick Fuentes and, Andrew Tate, the kind of people that are rising in the podcast charts, those don't actually represent our values. And I don't think that they represent the values and the worldview of the vast majority of Americans. And so this is an opportunity to speak for the 75%, for the people that are on the center left and the center right that still believe in equality of opportunity, that still believe passionately in the American project, that still believe in all of the things that everyone in this room believes in, which is liberty and freedom and individual responsibility and in the most basic level, the right to know what is actually going on in the world. Not the world as propagandists and ideologues imagine it to be, but what's actually going on in the world and in your community, so you can make decisions about where to send your kids to school, about where to live, and about how to vote. That used to just be normal, and the goal of what we're trying to do at CBS is to get back to that normalcy. And I feel incredibly energized and enthusiastic because I think that is where the vast majority of Americans actually are.
Well, round of applause for that nonsense.
So
with Ben Shapiro,
articulation of that set of goals to speak into the lives of the 75%, how are you going to do that? What's your strategy for success?
I don't think it's by pretending like we can go back to having a view from nowhere. I think it's about who's in the room, right? I think it's about redrawing the lines of what falls in the 40-yard lines of acceptable debate and acceptable American politics and culture. And I don't mean that in like a censorious gatekeeping way. I mean having people that are clearly identifiably on the center left and on the center right in conversation with each other. And we've been doing so much of this at the Free Press. I was in, where was I? Chicago. Last week, I think, I've lost all track of time, where Dana Lash, former spokeswoman from the NRA, was debating Alan Dershowitz on guns. Now, these are people that have wildly different opinions on the Second Amendment, and yet showing that they can have good faith, very passionate, very charismatic disagreement and still like each other at the end of the day.
Oh, that's good. As long as Alan Dershowitz still likes the NRA guy at the end of the day, you guys can continue to send your children to schools where they are hunted for sport.
Unbelievable.
Great.
Let's laugh
How
at
embarrassing.
Bari Weiss.
What an embarrassment.
It's too bad, Barry.
We should do
It's just too bad. You got a stupid plan and it won't work. When she says she doesn't want it to be censorious, she's joking. She's lying. She's not serious.
Exactly.
And then when she gives her example of what the normal mainstream should be, she mentions Dana Lash, a Fox News NRA clown woman, and Alan Dershowitz. Lash is spelled
pedophile.
Loesch. A pedophile. Yeah, that's how they pronounce it.
Oh my God. White people love to just throw letters together and then be like, that's Smith.
Too bad, yo. And she sits there and she's talking about getting the conversation and the debate conversation back to normal. Two very obvious things. First off, applauding for her right to her left is Ben Shapiro. You're gonna sit on a panel next to Ben Shapiro, a horrible carnival barker and liar, and a Jewish supremacist, and a clown, and a media manipulator, someone who made millions off the back of othering black people and othering queer people. And that's all he did. He didn't produce any value. He didn't give us any journalism. He built a team together that got clicks off of hate. And you're gonna platform next to him and talk about that. And then you're gonna go and talk about Alan Dershowitz should be back in the mainstream. Are you kidding me?
Jewish people should be so fucking embarrassed right now. They're just like, this is their dream team. This is their best and brightest. It's at a Jewish leadership contest. Embarrassment Weiss and little bitch boy Ben Shapiro. I gotta come up with another
bitch
one.
Boy Benny. Ben Shapiro called Ta-Nehisi.
Ben Shapiro. There we go. Has been Shapiro.
Interesting. I
has
fuck with
been
that.
Shapiro an embarrassment Weiss.
Embarrassment Weiss. It's all a joke. It's actually pretty offensive when you realize the kinds of power positions and plays that she's making and where she is now. The control she's going to have over CBS, which is largely pretty respected, their evening news programs.
It was.
And now you're going to see just insane propaganda
straight
nonsense.
Censorship.
But they won't talk about it that way.
Straight lies.
They'll talk about themselves as holding down this sort of center-left nonsense. Garbage.
Exactly.
Absolutely garbage.
Exactly.
Ta-Nehisi Coates is one of America's most important journalists and thoughtful, writers and social leaders, thinkers. Ben Shapiro calls him a terrorist. Ben Shapiro says that black people are underdeveloped and culturally backwards.
Which, now that you see how Israel runs and all of their lackeys run, every accusation is a confession. So it's kind of great. Like, they're just a bunch of idiots who are they're gonna tear themselves down. Their hubris, their unawareness, their unearned sense of self-accomplishment, superiority is gonna be their downfall. I'm excited. You
got to be kidding me with this. Do you think so in this conversation that, which includes Ben Shapiro and Alan Dershowitz, will they talk after Ben Shapiro says what he has to say about black culture, will they talk about Israeli culture? Will they talk about the rampant sex crime stuff going on and how these racism. People are immediately shipped back to Israel when they're caught with these incredible sex rings in the United States and things like that? Will that be inside the acceptable debate? No. Let's talk about black people.
Okay, we didn't do any of that stuff. So back to Jewish people. What the hell are you guys doing? So embarrassing, so disgusting. Your children are just going to be so ashamed of you guys.
Will she notice Israeli terror? Has she used the word Israeli terror at any point, the phrase? No, of course not. Has she used the word genocide at any, for her or Ben Shapiro, the two of them together with their massive platforms and blogs in the last 2 years? No, they haven't. So that's not within the acceptable lines, even though the 20 most important organizations on international law have all agreed that this is a genocide.
Plus my eyeballs.
Plus everyone who has a brain and isn't completely lost.
They are
just
allergic to the truth and reality. So
she's also She's also mediocre.
Of course, that's what, like, of course they're fighting so hard for their unearned positions, because they know the only reason they are there is because they've been propped up. And if it were when it is a level playing field, they will be lucky if they get to clean up our shit. They're going to be lucky if they get to take out our trash.
She's below average.
Literally.
Below average intellect. She's not very charismatic either. Similar to the person sitting next to her.
But like, when you're in a room full of uninteresting, uncharismatic, stupid people, it's like you guys are all, circle jerking each other.
Embarrassing.
Super embarrassment.
Embarrassing
Weiss.
So she wants the lines to be redrawn. And the difficult part is she doesn't control. Media is this vast thing. And certainly in 2025, she and the people, it is. It's fine. They don't have control like that. Like, she can control CBS. She's got her little rags. The Free Press, which CBS bought and gave her a valuation of $250 million for this rag blog that had about 5,000 subscribers. There are hundreds of blogs out there with higher numbers and better success than Bari Weiss, but she gets plucked for one reason and one reason only. Not because she's brilliant, not because she's somehow able to give. What's that? She was giving somebody head shapes? Oh, yeah.
You know what that looks like. You know what that is.
I do.
Come on.
I do. So she's not brilliant. She's not articulating truth in any meaningful way. She's simply saying the words. She's saying the script. Yeah. And so she gets a $250 million valuation in this incredible platform now. And the good thing is, we know she's going to destroy, like, CBS is on the way down.
It's great.
At least the news portion.
We literally just get to sit back and watch reveal their evil, sinister, and poorly thought out plan, and watch it, watch it tear them down. I can't wait. I love it. Oh my God, I love it.
I can't wait to see what kind of boring trash they put together, where she thinks Dana Lash, Dershowitz, Ben Shapiro, these guys should be. I'm sure she'll have some partnership with the Ben guy with the Daily Wire, and they'll be making some ridiculous slanted garbage content, Jewish supremacist content that obscures truth, the very truth of universalism.
They're so out of touch. They think that, like, they're gonna get people back by getting an 87-year-old pedophile advocate to debate an NRA lady. It's so
ridiculous.
funny. They're so, let's just keep doing what we have been doing, and we do it harder and more boldly now.
Yeah.
And hope that works. Good luck to you, dum-dums. Good
Yeah.
luck. You
Yeah, they
sweet, simple fucking people.
It's worth a watch. Like, as someone, I know a lot of people don't pay attention to this, and like these moves that are being made, from the purchasing of TikTok to the firing of multiple journalists in this country, to the threats that journalists face. You see, to the politicians being bought, to the politicians facing threats.
And who is threatening them? Is it China? Is it Russia? Is
Israel.
it black people? Is it trans people?
It's Israel.
Maybe it's women not trying to have children.
Charlie Kirk talked about the threats he was facing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm no fan of her, but she's leaving Congress because she started to speak out against this. Tucker Carlson's threats, Candace Owens' threats. Who's doing this? What are we looking at? And then there's other people who, just the thought of getting the threats. I mean, you see Joe Budden, again, go back to that episode, telling Mark Lamont Hill, chill, don't talk about this, bro. I don't want to go down this route. So what's happening here? All of this stuff works to expel valid truths, to put fear into people, legal fear of their jobs, fear of their lives, and to construct what we call our reality. They construct it, and while we sit and want to chill and live with our families, our world is being molded in such a way that it's impossible to talk about things. Again, will Bari talk about? It's difficult to talk about. But that's enough. That's what they need. That's the advantage they need. When it's difficult enough, then they get to step in with the full confidence of their conviction and their exclusion of certain things. Look, the UN and a couple of Amnesty International and B'Tselem, the Israeli human rights organization, found that 83% of the people killed in Gaza were civilians. 83% were civilians. No other war, conflict, genocide has had, even the old like World War II had this kind of rate of civilian combatant murder. Also, is that going to be in the 40-yard lines for Bari Weiss? Of course not.
Right.
Go ahead, baby.
No, it is also, even like, it's all made up. So even the conception of civilian, I think a lot of times is just if they're a woman or a child. But there are, all of the Palestinians are civilians, even if they're men. All of them are civilians.
So, of course, the way that they define,
are all defending their home, like if they were Ukrainians. It's easier, I think, for Americans to like understand. Like, they're the Ukrainians, and Israel is Russia. If Russia were an insane, racist, ethno-supremacist, terrorist state.
religious,
extremist, pack of inbred,
absurdist, violent,
barbaric
cult who tells themselves that they have the right to commit mass murder and land expansion and
are constantly
lying.
R-wording their children. Oh my God, there's a bunch of Knesset members, their children are suing them because they're like, they forced us to be in these sex cults when we were children, and the other members of the Knesset knew. Like, Jewish people, my God. There is like, Jewish people are most endangered by other Jewish people. I know that the statistics for who is murdering, R-wording, abusing Jewish people, a lot of intra-community violence, Jewish on Jewish crime. You hate to see it.
In particular, we're talking about the murderous colony, the murderous Israeli colony.
So this is back in July 2025.
So let's do a split screen real quick. Sheba brought this up, so I'm going to check this. This is the Times of Israel. This is, by the way, a newspaper that is very pro-Israel and willing to contort reality for Israel. But they have here Likud MK under, this is the Knesset member, under investigation for rape, approved as new head of Knesset finance. So no matter the charges that are going on, there's too many of charges that are happening. Then let's make him finance committee leader.
That is a prerequisite. Like, if you haven't been arrested or convicted of R-word or of terrorism against Palestinians, they don't think you're cool in Israel. You have to show how cruel and racist you are in order for anyone to accept you.
We're gonna get into some of that too.
Disgusting.
I mean, what's tough is that Bari Weiss represents this kind of pleasant, cutesy, femme, liberal version of the violent stuff that goes on in Israel, and her role is to be to completely obscure this stuff. Like, oh, I represent the cute side of things, and there's no allowance for an internal critique. That's the weird thing. Again, Ben Shapiro sits across from her and will happily look over at black people and create reams of content. I mean, hours and hours of content about how black people need to change their music and pull their pants up and learn how to handle money better, and the fathers need to, be fathers, and the family structure is all fucked up in the black community. That's what Ben Shapiro does. And then you see the comments
on the Epstein Island, okay?
Oh my
Which
God.
I bet he's like, why does everyone want to talk about Epstein when black people are not doing an Epstein, and when black people are not running a horrifying rape colony?
My heroes are on the FBI list. Yours, Epstein list. There's a big difference between me and you.
Yep.
Ben Shapiro and with Bari Weiss want to make sure that we talk about black people, but never talk about this. In Israel, everything is legitimate. This is what the Israeli leader says, a quote. They say that the soldiers who've been accused of rape. Now, if you remember in the United States, we had, was it the Iraq War? There was a big scandal over Abu Ghraib because of pictures, because they took people and put them in awkward positions. Yes, it was terrible.
They tortured them.
They tortured them.
And
they took them naked. But the pictures were the thing. The evidence of taking pictures while laughing and putting people in terrible positions, naked and nude, and sexually abusing them. Just a couple of pictures created quite a stir and a scandal. In this society here, everything is legitimate. They had
for the right.
The Knesset had a debate over the right to rape. And I believe the rapists won this debate. Yes,
they have them on talk shows where they wear masks because, of course, they are terrorists. But actually, even the other article that you'd shown about I don't know if that's the same person. I was talking about in April 2025, Shoshana Strouk, the adult daughter of the current Israeli Minister of Settlement and National Missions, Orit Strouk, who's a woman, publicly accused her parents and one of her brothers of years-long childhood sexual abuse. She filed it in Italy. And yeah.
Filed in Italy.
Anyway, there's just of course, why would you file it in Israel?
In Israel.
Where they're in charge of the laws. But yeah, the number one threat to Jewish people is Israelis and anyone who supports them.
I mean, the number one threat. I mean, that's the diabolical thing. I mean, there's a long history of the Zionists actually threatening, bombing the global Jewry, terrorizing people to get them to come, bombing other parts of the world, false flag operations,
pretending
to then claim
other people were trying to kick Jews out.
So that Jews go to Israel. This is well stated. Well reported. It's well known. It's not even a conspiracy at all. It's well documented. So this, you see a continuation of this. And again, Barry won't talk about that. I want to ask Barry, does she agree with Sarah Hurwitz?
Oh, censorious.
Who last week or last month, we realized Sarah Hurwitz, her definition of genocide is one where genocide only exists if Jews are the victims. Genocide can't be real.
Sarah Hora Halfwitz.
Halfwitz, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If Jews are victims, that it's impossible for Jews to be the perpetrators of a genocide. Does she agree with Smotrich that international law doesn't apply to her and the Jewry? Is that the kind of values and the background sort of information that CBS will have going forward in their news reporting?
And it's interesting because it's actually so dehumanizing of Jewish people to turn them into this one-dimensional, cartoonishly, childlike. They're just forever victims who only do the right thing and they only want love and forever.
It's anti-Semitic. They're human. They're human. We are humans.
They are humans. It is the height of hatred of Jewish people to lie to them constantly and to turn them into this cartoonish, fake, thing that is just not real. It's harming them and it's endangering them. And everyone who keeps trying to lure Jewish people to the state where they are most likely to be raped, murdered, sexually assaulted, and imprisoned, do not have your best interests at heart, Jewish people. I'm here for you. I know I'm just a black woman. You've been taught to not value non-white, non-Jewish person's opinion, but
I mean, this is well said.
Calls coming from inside the house.
There's
babe.
a lot.
We're afraid for you.
A lot of Jewish people have made the same claim. A lot of Zionists even come to a realization. I just posted recently this European Holocaust survivor who became anti-Zionist, a Jew himself, who became anti-Zionist as soon as he visited Israel. He realized that
it's obvious
yeah.
what is going on there. It's not like a hidden secret. And that's like the worst thing. It's so obvious that I have no sympathy for anyone, but particularly Jewish people who come back swallowing the propaganda, just accepting the obviously racist, violent, ahistorical propaganda. It's just so embarrassing and such it just makes Jewish people look so bad.
The problem is that room that Bari's in next to Ben and the whole room of people in the audience, they're just lying to themselves.
Yes.
They all just lie to themselves.
Yes, literally.
They don't address reality. They don't look at each other. They don't look in the mirror and come to truths about what they're doing. Their goal, Ben Shapiro in particular, and Bari, their goal is to, just like Sarah, I start trying to defend Israel. I start from there. I start from looking how to defend Israel. And then I realize that I'm up against a wall of dead children. I realize that I'm up against a wall of reality and truth and harm and violence and insanity and irrationality.
It's so sad. They're not going to be able to protect their children if they're unable to see reality. It's so sad. Like, what happened to the last Israeli prime minister?
Yeah, Rabin was assassinated, and many people think that he was assassinated by an Israeli settler, an Israeli terrorist settler.
Jewish person?
Absolutely.
Okay, Jewish people. I mean, the call is coming from inside the house, guys.
And he was assassinated in the middle of some very historic peace talks with Palestine, another attempt to carve out land and to settle some sort of two-state agreement. And you know what's funny? After his death, it was Netanyahu, who was then sort of a middle Knesset member at the time. The Rabin's wife accused Netanyahu of making it happen because Netanyahu just recently, like days before that assassination, was at a rally in support of this like far right, like these guys who didn't want a peace talk, the Israelis who wanted to genocide Palestinians so many decades ago. And so Netanyahu took on that demographic, that group, and that's like his base.
Yeah.
And that's what leads into this thing now. Will Bari talk about that at all? When they run through this history, there's this glorified history about what Israel was and as idealized. There's never a conversation about that assassination of the prime minister and about Benjamin Netanyahu and what he's constructed in the last several decades.
Yeah. So it's really sad that, their Jewish people are proving with the first and only Jewish state that there will not be another Jewish state because you guys don't know how to govern yourselves.
We can't have.
It's been less than 100 years, and
we can't have ethno states.
Has relied on slaughtering the people that already lived there, lying, killing your own people in order to support the lie, and it's just that has just made them look so bad, and they're so like. It's so sad. They've just been lied to for so long. They like believe so much of their own shit. They just look insane and so stupid.
It's but they're deeply insulated. I mean, Bari Weiss is around, especially now with her new position. She can hire and fire people. She already has. I think it's been said that the entire, every brown person at CBN in these divisions have been out. And
again, like for all of us, like rejection is protection, guys. The divine does not want you in these terrorist organizations lying to yourself and the world in order to support this horrible thing. So it's call your power back to you. Let them reveal themselves. Let them surround themselves only with the most craven, cowardly, opportunistic terrorists. Let them.
We have to, yes, you let them, but you observe them and you adjust your behavior. I mean, when people think about CNN today, they need to make the correct parallels about it being just a competitor with Fox News. The idea that Fox News is alone as being this like crazy news organization, that's no longer true. Take the other two orgs and add them to that.
They're all
CBS now is colluding on this same thing. she wants Dana Lash and Dershowitz to do a debate show or whatever. Fuck that.
And really, it's like children are smart. They see what's going on. And yeah, the kids who, you know, were planning to go into journalism school have to recognize that, like, the adults are tricking you. It's a racket.
Journalism school.
They're
My
trying
God.
to steal your money and entice you to just be part of the propaganda arm.
Do not go to journalism school.
No.
There's no reason to go to journalism school. There's nothing they can teach you there.
Might as well go to art school, you know?
Go to
If
art
you're gonna waste
school,
your money,
learn.
like, you at least learn how to think creatively, how to be creative, how to express yourself.
Learn how to observe the world and learn how to speak and communicate. Yeah. When I say learn how to observe the world, I mean learn who you are, learn about yourself, and learn how to observe the world beyond labels. This is a big problem for Ben Shapiro and for Bari, clearly. The labels, Barry's whole construction, Ben's middle center, left, ooh, Jew, this, that. These labels don't matter. When Ben Shapiro, he starts from these labels, and this is why he can't see the world appropriately, because he is himself, he identifies first as a Jew, and then he sees everyone else as something other than that, and then he sees himself as he needs to be articulating the interests of Israel, because he's in that, he's warped, and well, he's losing. I mean, he's lost millions of followers at this point because it's completely garbage, and everyone can see that. I think years ago it was harder for some people to see that, but his Israel first approach to news and journalism is not appropriate. Yeah. His quote the perpetrator of genocide style of journalism. You know, the Israel just killed more people, and they say they did it because terrorists, and they say they did it because they killed all these children because they're gonna be, terrorists in 20 years. Shit like this. Like, it's unacceptable.
They're just giving all of us, everyone else, a really problematic rationale.
Exactly. They're normalizing pre-crime. You know, I grew up and I went to grad school for international relations and ethics, and we were taught a whole series of moral precepts about the individual, about innocence, about, crime, and how you...
It's not even necessarily pre-crime. It's like punishing a child for the actions of their parent. And so that is not something that Jewish people want everyone to accept.
Well, why is no one saying anything to Bari Weiss and Ben Shapiro that they shouldn't be operating that way? Ben Shapiro will say that straight away, that the children deserve it, things like this.
Because we have to lie to
Jewish people. But Bari won't. Bari will just kind of stay quiet and hide in the corner like a little punk and stay and allow terrible things to happen and not talk about it and just kind of divert everyone's attention over here. Well, no, they're doing these terrible things for a reason because these, and there's a long tradition of this and that, and this like cutesy narrative.
Which really is like a very American kind of, like, that's how the powers that were taught us to think of this kind of, a learned helplessness. We can't do nothing but keep helping the bad guys win. And they're winning, but it's better. And it has to be that way. Like, okay, crazy people, keep talking.
It's out of control.
Spending all your money, you're still gonna lose.
So while Bari Weiss, we're gonna go to the second one now. Okay, let's while Bari Weiss does that, we found another podcast. Two nice Jewish boys. This podcast is kind of a middling podcast. They have probably their most views on YouTube, but they're still sort of a couple thousand followers, things like this. But, this one. Okay, here we go. Check this out. The name of this podcast is Two Nice Jewish Boys.
It's nice to know that you're dancing in a concert while hundreds of thousands of Gazans are,
homeless,
like sitting in a tent and eating.
Makes it even better.
Yeah,
more enjoyable concert.
More enjoyable.
If only they put the
live
video footage of Gaza. But seriously, you guys like that. That's what people don't understand. Look, I know that you guys might be appalled by this, some of the listeners, but seriously, this is how Israelis feel. And you might think that Eitan Weinstein and Naor, who refuses to kind of back me up on it publicly.
I'm from the UN.
Yeah, he's the UN. But you might think I'm extreme. But I have conversations with lots of people, coworkers, friends. People enjoy knowing that they are suffering.
I mean, I don't have much to add. They said it all for me. This is how a lot of Israelis think. They enjoy knowing that they are destroying the Palestinian people. They enjoy knowing that they are suffering. You give me a microphone and two Israelis, two Zionists just like that, and you'll hear the most convincing reasons to be against Zionism. That podcast is literally called Two Nice Jewish Boys, and it perfectly demonstrates the problem with conflating Zionism with Judaism. You now have a podcast going around masquerading as a Jewish podcast where it's just two Zionists spewing the most hateful, dehumanizing rhetoric you may ever hear. Abandon Zionism and free Palestine. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what we need is, unfortunately, Bari won't touch that. Bari wants to, again, the two people on that podium, they'll look out at Ta-Nehisi Coates, call him a terrorist. They'll look out at black podcasts and say that there's some sort of a problem there in black families. They won't look at the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast and ask some serious questions about this sort of thinking. And they're not talking, by the way, he's talking about the concert. So he's not talking about today, post ceasefire 2025. He's talking about October 7th in particular. He's talking about the day of.
Yes. They already they enjoyed the suffering of the people that they've trapped in a concentration camp. It's so sad. I mean, the Nazis weren't even this happy and excited and exuberant about their atrocities. It's crazy. And it's so crazy too that they're able to, they're able to redirect their focus to people who were had the misfortune of being kind to them. Letting them in when no one else would. No good deed goes unpunished. I hope all of the colonized people see what happens when we give white people an inch, when we try to understand their logic and use their logic to let them do what they want. They're just going to do colonialism again. And
I mean, that clip right there is so
wild,
so disgusting.
And it's like, yeah, that is how the Israelis think. So we have to dismantle that terrorist state that's full of people who genuinely enjoy the suffering of people that they murder.
Not only did they enjoy the suffering and the forced human created starvation, the homelessness. The violence, the apartheid, but they have a whole system of benefits for people who are willing to defend that, people who are willing to stay quiet about it, people who are willing to reap the benefits and to assume it to be normal and to defend, to come up with hasbara, to come up with narrative stories that make it normal and defend it. So everything from an aggressive sort of God-invoked, God-given right to be this kind of violent, down to or the opposite. It's the flip side is like, we're just a dispossessed, marginalized community who's trying to get our land, and we sometimes got to do some terrible things. I mean, but the lies, the manipulation. Bari Weiss, Ben Shapiro in particular, are at the tip of the spear, and are very famous and successful for these obfuscations. But cleaning it up just enough that they can get this sort of mainstream access. The truth is, the Two Jewish Boys podcast probably won't get this mainstream access. They're gonna find their corner of the internet
about what's happening.
That is so that wants that sort of vile clarity and honesty of thought. While Ben Shapiro says, just kind of comes up with legal and military rationale for why everything Israel does, bombing. Everything is fair game. Raping, and they're gonna be on a panel clapping and telling you that they're gonna revolutionize media for your benefit.
It's only the people who see a wall of murdered children and are like, oh, get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
So great. We don't want those people looking at us. We don't want those people We don't want that money. Not all money is good money. I know that is not the Israeli way.
Sure.
But gross. Ew. Like, and like, if you have to, yeah.
It's a cult.
It's such a cult.
We watched the Israeli situation, the Zionist mindset, and the Zionist constructions are cult-like. Sheba's a big cult.
They're not just cult-like.
Sheba's a big cult.
Textbook cult mentality.
She watches these cult joints. So we watched recently the No Country,
Wild
Wild Country. This commitment to lying. I mean, you see it all over, and it's not just Jews. This is something that Christians.
Honestly, I think
there are probably in America more Christians who are willing to come up with the nonsense stories and lies on behalf of this thing and to justify it on some biblical stuff, theocratic mumbo jumbo nonsense.
Yeah.
And people are gonna sit and let it happen. And if
because they're white.
And I know Bari Weiss is going to ruin CBS, but we're also watching like, well, let's just see, the people with money are just moving people around. They're buying up the news organizations. They're forming this and that. New things are forming. And years from now, everyone will just be like, oh, that's what it is. Oh yeah, this is what CBS is. And let's watch. Let's tune into this garbage. Every word will be dripping with bias and lies and obfuscation.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
It is. Yeah.
It's disgusting. But the ad revenue goes around and people are employed and everyone has their logos up and the logo gives you credibility that this is a decent place to get information. It's an offense. You should be offended.
Yeah.
That they would have the gall.
That's the thing that is like, they really think it's gonna work. And like that's I mean, one of the many reasons why like it's easy for me to know how to move at any given time. But like, yeah, like they're very clear. They want to brainwash you. They want to lie to you. They want to give you the thing. They want you to not trust your own eyes and judgment. And like they really think they believe in Jewish supremacy so much that they think everyone is just like a dum-dum who's gonna be like, well, okay, we gotta go along with it. Like
they really do.
Girl, y'all crazy.
Either a dum dum
for a big surprise.
Either a dum dum or a low integrity person who can be paid and bought, or someone who can be blackmailed somehow, or someone who can be induced with fear.
Fear is the mind killer, and a lot of these people's their minds have been killed.
But no one's talking about that. That layer underneath it, this very sinister, manipulative layer of phenomena that is controlling people's minds, their thoughts, their assumptions, and the words they say. And then she's gonna sit up there and she's never gonna talk about these efforts and the connection to this country that she loves and serves.
Traitors.
And that Ben Shapiro loves and serves, and never talk about that girl from Tufts University, the young journalist who was abducted from ICE because she wrote an honest piece of journalism. Never talk about the student encampments and how those were broken up and violently broken up by police for ending a genocide. They just dismiss it away, and she wants to redraw the lines of the acceptable debate. Absolutely not, Bari Weiss.
Exactly.
You're done. And you're gonna pull CBS News down with you, and they're gonna have to get rid of you for that.
Yes,
and it's gonna be so fun.
I'm always going to say it. So impressed with Hamas and how they revealed the Israelis and took down this whole Western oligarchy imperialist operation.
Yeah, I mean, took down. I mean, they put a big hit. They put us in a conversation and an awareness.
Yeah.
Of what's going on. We get to see these guys quote this stuff that the two Jewish boys, what they're saying there, as vile as that is, it pales in comparison to what the leaders of Israel have said.
The ones on the news, they're like the one there's like a one newscaster in Israel who is like, I can't fall asleep unless I'm hearing the screams of Palestinian children being slaughtered.
They take pride in that. They reward each other for their ability to turn a vile phrase of dehumanization for Palestinians and for people who aren't Jewish, people outside of their identity group. And it's disgusting.
American Jews be like, oh, you can still like Israel, and no, you can't, idiot, fucking idiot. Thinking of my dumbass friend, ex-friend, not friend. Man, Rachel, who I think would love the idea of like a nice Jewish boy that's like a Jewish people.
There's 2 of them
are taught to marry within their religion, and so a lot of Jewish parents want their daughter to marry a nice Jewish boy, and I'm like, can you imagine being intimate with people who enjoy suffering?
I can't even put my mind in the framework to understand that. I don't understand those two men. And part of it, like, I think part of it is they think that it's cool and fun. Somehow they're appealing to an audience with that. This is something to notice, right? That angle, that refrain, that ugliness is an appeal to an audience, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I can't even begin.
Makes right, and we're just supposed to, whoever is the most violent, we're supposed to be like.
The other thing with Bari and Ben Shapiro wants to tell you, and CNN built him up to be an intelligent person. They continue to platform him. I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'll say it again here. If CNN platforms Ben Shapiro one more time, if I see them platform him one more time, I'm going to directly deal with CNN, because I've been playing kind of gloves on, been going on Fox News, been talking about MSNBC, trying to deal with the social media, to say situation. But one more time, I'm going to deal with CNN very directly. And it's disgusting. See, Ben wants to tell you he's intelligent, but what kind of an intelligent person is just a parrot, a zombie, who simply regurgitates and reads off the teleprompter or reads the notes from the IDF and sells propaganda about violence? You're not an intelligent person. You're a mouthpiece.
An intelligent person would.
You don't have original thoughts, clown. Go ahead.
An intelligent person would see the writing on the wall. Would see that obviously, modern civilized humans are appalled by suffering, undue suffering, intentional, man-made, racist suffering.
You're a racist and an uncivilized clown, and you're disgusting.
Disgusting.
And you don't get to lecture anyone else. You don't get to talk about the black community. Keep black people out of your mouth.
Please.
Fucking clown.
Or say whatever you want, babe. Like, now we can just be honest about who you guys
We'll talk about who you are.
We see why they're trying to be like, look over there. Look over at black people. Look over at trans people. Because they don't want people looking at the Israelis and the Jewish people who support them.
You are a puppet mouthpiece clown who repeats and comes up with fantastic stories on behalf of a government. That's who you are.
Yeah.
You're not clever or interesting or smart. You're none of those things. And you're just like this next group that we're gonna watch in this clip here.
The best of your ancestors are so ashamed of you guys right now.
Yes. And there's a massive Jewish diaspora today who looks at Ben Shapiro with shame. It's the thing
They're
about
not loud enough. We're not seeing. It's like super Hitler. It's super Nazi time, super Holocaust time 10. And so, Jewish people have to get a lot louder and a lot more aggressive.
There's the Necessary Conversation podcast is a podcast that started by this guy who has these right-wing parents. And he says that the podcast saved his family, frankly. They were having arguments. He said, let's turn the camera on and let's see it. Let's see if we can learn something, turn this heat into something valuable. And so, again, this is no different. See, Ben Shapiro is a MAGA person himself. Bari is a MAGA cultist. Bari is a liberal. She would want to sort of mock this, but I wonder what's different about Bari and Ben than what the parents are about to show you here.
Cult.
What if Donald Trump says, I want you to carpet bomb Oklahoma City, everyone? You think the Air Force should carry that out?
Yes.
There might be a reason. We don't know.
This is insane.
You cannot be this stupid. Jesus Christ. Oh, my. This podcast was going well until that.
You just said it's cool. We levels Oklahoma. You're like, yeah, it. There must be a reason. Like, you literally can't be that dumb.
You know what the problem is? Mom and I don't believe he'll ever blow up Oklahoma because we're on his side and so's the whole state.
No, it's because you're in a cult.
You guys are worried and afraid because you live in a state where it might happen.
Okay, let's theoretically say that does happen. Let's say Trump sends in the Marines to Los Angeles, California, and let's say I'm out going to see a movie on a weekend, and he says,
And
go
you
into
better
that
get
shopping
the fuck
mall.
under a truck.
Quiet, piggy. He says, go into that shopping mall and kill everyone you see. And let's say I get gunned down by the Marines for just being at a mall.
Okay, number one,
All for
let's just take
Okay,
it
Dad,
one step
wait a minute,
further.
Mom, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Dad
wait.
hang on, Mom. Dad, you just said you are for Donald Trump murdering me for no reason, and you would support that.
If he walks into a mall to people with military,
There has to be a reason.
there's a reason. And I'm all for it. And the people in Los Angeles, California are as deserving of execution as the assholes in New York City. You're all communists.
No, it's because you're in a
Wow. And this is the, I mean, that's some scary stuff. That's what the MAGA cult is like, but that's also what the Zionist cult is like. That's also what you talk to Zionists who's every step, everything that Netanyahu does from paying for and destroying the two-state solution, building Hamas, building a concentration camp, this genocide, they have an excuse for everything. Bombing Iran, everything makes sense. Everyone's a terrorist. Every word that Golan and these guys say from the podiums, they simply assume it. They assume the assumptions of us versus them, and they just repeat that, and they're down for more violence, everything. There's recently two children were killed and shot in the head, and the response from these are randos, frankly, Zionists online, but it's the same thing. It's the same, they must be terrorists. No violence perpetrated by Israel is an extension or is overblown or is bad. Everything has a reason. Everything is done with a perfectness and a truth. But it's complete nonsense. Will Bari talk about that? I know Ben Shapiro won't. Will CBS help us understand the world? This stuff is crazy. This stuff needs to be, we have to be better than this. And that's what this is what I'm saying. Like, and I've been talking about this for years now, okay? There's a difference between entertainment and journalism. Entertainment can be anything. It can be fictional. We can come up with a story and we can act and we can do all kinds of creative stuff. And then the journalists are supposed to give language to reality to help us understand. And so you have to be aware of yourself. You have to be able to solve for yourself, because I can't sit here and try to give you an honest assessment of reality while protecting my identity, while protecting myself as a man or as a black person or as an American, whatever identity I give myself. And then I say, okay, well, I'm going to make sure I only talk about the ills of this other part of the world. And I'm going to reflexively, fascistically, robotically defend anything that black men do, for instance. That's something a regular goofball might do. But if I attempt to be a national figure in journalism, I have to get better at that. And that's that's why Bari Weiss should not be involved in journalism. I'm afraid not. Neither is Ben Shapiro. That whole panel needs to go sit down.
Yeah. It's either journalism or it's propaganda. And that's all we have is propaganda. And the more Americans start to understand that, the better. I really hope he cuts off his relationship with these psychopaths.
His parents, yeah? Oh my God.
I hate that you said that it helps their family.
That's what he says.
I think that's a problem too. I think white people think the solution is to be able to have dinner with people who want you murdered. And no, they don't have to change their views because they know their kid is still going to come and hang out with them, have them platform them, and be around them. And they have no consequences. They're proud of themselves. They're proud of their violence. They're proud of their racist psychopathy.
The relinquishing of the faculties of the thought process.
Disgusting.
He would get a call from the White House.
Say, it's good.
He would get a call from a media organization. The Marines murdered your son, and he'd what? What did he do? Donald Trump ordered the murder of my son. Okay, well he must have done something because he's not able to even fathom the idea that state violence
Also, it's like they
It's
have
wrong.
no
particularly under a Republican president, under Trump. There's no such thing.
They really don't understand love. Like they just have no love for themselves, no love for their children, and that's why they let the most horrific things happen. Another thing about that is, you know, the white people are happy to let whatever Trump wants to do with the U.S. military, they're going to accept it. And Black people are so overrepresented in the military. And like, when are we going to stop giving our children up to the U.S. empire? When are we going to stop them from being henchmen and cannon fodder? The white people are happy to, like, you know, whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, what you're
Disgusting.
look, every nation is going to do what they can to build up a military. They'll do it
Not
based
every
on
nation.
mythology.
Actually, the Vietnam, their military budget is smaller than the NYPD's.
Yeah, I mean, the Vietnam's a very small country, and they're not, you know, just on the global stage. You know, they don't deal. And now the other, as a global actor, are they this sort of like superpower the way the United States is? Obviously, the very nature of being a superpower is one that's going to require a military. You have to assert your power one way or another. And in this country, we have incentives to do that, right? Not just mythology about America's, you know, standing and what they're doing in the world, but money and like student loan stuff and this and that. And it's been a great, the story of American military stuff. It's been the story of, it was the first to, it was, what is it? Desegregate before the general public would. It was a path for.
Not in the world.
The
in
American
US.
military, the American military. Desegregation along the lines of race.
Yeah,
in
they
the military.
wanted to get Black people
Yes.
so that they can use for cannon fodder. So
Yes.
they had to overcome their own racism in order to exploit Black people in a different way.
Yes.
In a new and novel way.
And it's a path to the middle class. It's been that, a path to middle class and even upper middle class. It's a path to a level of comfort for many people, including many Black people, at least in the last generations.
But that was then, and this is now. And now you're not just slaves who have to take whatever white men say you have to do to get a nice enough job. No, losers. Bet on yourself. So disgusting. So disgusting. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. We see all of these movies about how senseless war is and how the U.S. government doesn't care about the soldiers and how they leave them high and dry. We understand that the number one cause of death for U.S. military is suicide because they realize, oh, I've been doing a horrific thing for nothing, for pennies. That's so.
And then
so
they get left on
disgusting.
the side of the road when they're done at the end of the
Literally.
day.
And like Black people, we care that little about our children. We are so unconfident in our ability to make a buck that we have to accept the blood money. Donald Trump. So shameful. So shameful. Let us not turn into the Israelis, guys. All right?
I mean,
They
the
learn
Israelis
from us. And we have to make sure we do not become them. Proud of our violence, proud of our racism, proud of our obedience to the most psychopathic people.
Robotic, fascistic obedience.
Robotic,
Very embarrassing.
Slavic.
Not intelligence. That's not intelligent, by the way. When you see robotic, reflexive, fascistic obedience, you're looking at a low intelligence person.
Yeah.
You're looking at a low IQ person who can't develop their own thoughts, their own logics, their own identity structures outside of the ones given to them. And so they simply repeat.
It's been beaten out.
And that's
of
what Ben Shapiro is.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. But Ben Shapiro paid enough to get himself on CNN regularly. And he speaks fast enough that many people project intelligence onto that. But it's the exact opposite. And it's embarrassing. And the thing you said, don't be Israel. The thing about Israel has a layer of this religious kookery on top of everything. But the other thing they have is that they never grappled with and got control of their right wing. Right wing defined here as the people who are really preoccupied with like refining the white Jewish construct, like the identity. They are preoccupied with defending a very specific thing.
European Jewish people.
They never got control of that. In fact, those people assassinated members of the Israeli left.
In fact, it's centered around
imprisoned,
supporting and helping and, uplifting the right wing.
They imprisoned the Israeli left. B'Tselem is this B'Tselem and Haaretz occasionally. Like these news organizations attempt something and they're marginalized. They are called not real Jewish. America has to watch for this. The left wing, again, if I define right wing as this refined attempt to support this very narrow white perfection concept, the left wing are people who are attempting to grapple with and engage with everything. The fullness, the full citizenry, the human condition, economics, sociology. Everyone has to eat. Everyone needs healthcare, things like this. That's the preoccupation. So Israel, as they run around and talk about the no other place in the world, people don't know how to govern. Israel is this spectacular place. Y'all don't know how to govern nothing.
What happened to Rabin again? Remind me. Oh, a Jewish person assassinated him, and then you let your next prime minister be in power for decades and decades. Stop. It's okay. Their little terrorist state is on its last days, so can't wait until we talk about it like Atlantis. Just a mythical place. We're like, did that happen? No.
Not just a mythical place, but a real blight, a real sort of stain on the human history, the amount of murders, not just this genocide that we've had over the last 2 years, but the Benjamin Netanyahu's track record on Iraq post 9/11. They
invented terrorism.
Absolutely.
Then brainwashed us all to think it's the people that
the manipulation, the news manipulation in this country, the Congress manipulation in this country, the manipulation that has us really familiar with the idea that terrorism is some sort of outreach or you saw it today. Randy Fine, the congressman, posted something today about mainstream Islam as terrorism. Like
the Hebrew heifer.
That's lying. That's propaganda. That's projection. Crazy. That's a way. That's taking us away from who's doing the aggression today.
Is actually radical, a religion,
but people love it.
Taking over our country.
People love it. Bari Weiss loves it. Ben Shapiro loves it. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the right way to talk about this.
Israelis?
Who?
Those people you just mentioned. People love it.
Ben Shapiro and Bari Weiss are American, I'm afraid. And they love that shit and they propagate lies while pretending to operate from a place of journalism and truth storytelling.
Yeah.
So this to me is beyond upsetting. It's
appalling.
It's appalling.
Disgusting, and it's unacceptable.
It's not acceptable. I won't accept it. We won't accept it. And it's not going to last. And it's just going to be fun. Just like Ben Shapiro's whole thing is failing, Bari Weiss will fail.
I love it.
Mark my words. Today is November 30th. I said it here first.
Literally, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. This is a obvious David and Goliath. And this hulking, clumsy fucking Goliath. I cannot wait for it to go down. We'll all be so much safer. I can't wait. Oh my God.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. Good job, baby.
Thanks, B.
We just hit an hour, y'all.
Yeah.
That's the end of the episode. You have anything you want to say?
Man, just I feel so sorry for white people, but especially Jewish people, Jewish white people. Like, my God, you've just been groomed and lied to and terrorized by your own community since you were children. They just beat it into you that you have to have this fealty to a terrorist state, and that everyone else hates you, and if you don't support this, everyone's going to turn against you.
That's the wild thing
too.
Lose
your family,
there's a massive,
those people
well-orchestrated.
Really
there's a massive and well-orchestrated media ecosystem that is 100%
scare Jewish people.
100% devoted to demonstrating how the world has irrational hatred to Jews.
There's a printing press, Israeli owned, that is dedicated to printing Arabic translations of Mein Kampf, so that they can plant it in the homes of Palestinians who they've just bombed and terrorized, and then show it to Americans see.
Just blatant, just craven stuff.
They're so dumb. They're so stupid.
Just crazy stuff.
And they're so sheltered and isolated, and they've been lied to for so long. They don't even see it. It's so embarrassing. Oh.
And then, as you know, I have a personal story of old people I know from high school, people I've known for decades, who of the Jewish diaspora, who, when it's time to have a conversation about this, again, you're either going to be Ben Shapiro and sort of be the tip of the spear and aggressive, or you're going to pull off something more. So I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, it's tough. I don't want to have any criticisms of my country. And so you're just like MAGA.
What do you mean? Your country? Which country?
It's crazy.
And
you're just like MAGA is what I want to say. You're no better. You're no better. You're not intelligent. You don't have a refined political analysis. There's nothing you can help us understand. You are a bot, right? You're just like that guy who says that if Trump was going to shoot up a California ball, he's down for it.
Yes.
Because Trump can do no wrong, because you dumb. It's embarrassing. Yeah. And you call yourself an adult, and you have children? You raising children? Man. Unfortunately?
Man. Those children are
you know how to raise yourself.
Turn away from them. As they should.
All right.
Yeah, super, super embarrassing, my people. Really embarrassing.
That's the show, y'all.
There's more to come for you guys.
Yeah, well, we're seeing the politics and everything is changing. The discourse around this is changing. The control. Bari Weiss recognizes that they don't have control of the narrative. Sarah Hurwitz recognizes they can't control that. They can't bottleneck by the journalists and make sure that the language is curtailed.
You know what sucks for them?
So now they're gonna have to deal with reality, and it will feel like this weird injustice when in fact it's simply you're maladapted to truth.
Yes. And everyone has been coddling you and lying to you. So, shit, what was I gonna fucking say? Damn. Let me think.
Lying, maladapted to truth.
Yeah, they're gonna keep trying. Losers, embarrassing, endangering their children.
It's tough. Look, at the end of the day, if you watch my show on my podcast, she talks about this on her show as well. We're rooted in a deep clarity about what is.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna say.
Go.
Like these people, Rachel, Boris, any of these Jewish supremacists who quickly saw that we are not dumb enough to fall for their fear tactics and manipulation. That's honestly the kindest thing they could do to us. Like those people are going to, in the same way they are helping tear down Israel by revealing it, by just, revealing what it takes to sustain it. They would tear us down if we kept them too close.
Yeah, I don't want
all they know how to do is just like destroy and ruin and just make a beautiful thing bad. So
you're not serious. You're not
truth.
Serious.
Yeah, you're not serious.
When I was having these conversations earlier on, like, if you're a fan of Israel in any way, you should want to make sure the country isn't killing children. You should want to be in good standing with the world community. You should want to abide by international law. You should want your country to do that so that it could thrive. This whole relationship, this like funding relationship between the U.S., you want that to be based on the principles, the universal principles of the human condition, not on this idea that there's a chosen Jewish people and they get to steal and do whatever. And that's Ben Shapiro's line.
Yeah, and it's just like they're so entitled. Like they're white people, so they've been taught to have the same entitled kind of idea that. I don't know. We all have to just keep lying to them for some reason, and
well, it's over for that. It's over for that, and not only Mom Donnie is a canary in the coal mine in terms of like the political ramifications of this. Not just everyone, but even American Jewry for the most part is not as deeply backwards as Bari Weiss hopes they are. They certainly are not as deeply backwards as Israel is. 40% of the New York Jews voted for Mamdani, from what I understand. There is no this effort to
60% didn't.
Something like that. I could be wrong on this.
That's really bad, Jewish people.
Right, because the other guys, but
children like our age. We really have to. We're gonna have to interact differently with our parents than they taught us to interact with them. Like we're in a geriocracy right now, and like if they have their way, Alan Dershowitz will be, you know, setting the tone for the next 100 years. No,
Alan Dershowitz is gone.
87-year-old
pedophile, and he's disgusting, and he's one of the
disgusting.
most
older
embarrassing
than Israel,
people.
Also, much older than Israel.
One of the most embarrassing people in the country.
Yes.
Anyway, it just shows you how absurd Bari Weiss is. Yeah.
Yes.
But she's not in the fringe. She's now the mainstream. She's CBS. I mean, it's sharing a stage with Ben Shapiro. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't enrage you, you're just not paying attention. Because the ways, the machinations to control your world, your language, to control the narratives that come out, the headlines, they're making those moves. Yeah. Ben Shapiro's making those moves. Bari Weiss is.
Yes.
You should be enraged.
You to just sit back and receive it. So I'm gonna need you to step into your masculine.
Well, we're gonna have some fun with these people as we watch them fail.
I'm excited.
Yeah, seriously.
I love it. Ooh, I love to be underestimated, to prove people wrong. So can't wait. Honored that we have been blessed with this beautiful mission of restoring balance and harmony and vanquishing evil and empowering the collective. Love that.
That's it. And that's Hot Mic, baby. We'll see you in a week. All right?
Looking for some Hot Mic, baby, this evening. Looking for some Hot Mic, baby, tonight. Looking for some Hot Mic, baby, this evening.
Looking for the Hot Mic.
Hot Mic tonight.
Peace.